Right, 1, 2. So everybody should be able to hear me nice and clear. Audio should be perfect. People know no time we are live. Quick. Right. Everybody should. Yep. I see the thumbs up. So we should be good to go. Audio, visual, good as well. Perfect. All right, get started. Mm. You know. So we're gonna start off with the cues for today and as well ticker BWSO. Start off here and work our way around. We just opened up. Um, so first things first, when looking at Boyle, I want to go to this weekly time frame. We were speaking about Boyle yesterday, so I just want to reiterate a couple of things on Boyle. In the months, these upcoming months, these next 60 days, essentially January, December and January, we anticipate for Boyle to start taking off. First target that we're looking for Boyle, majority of us got Boyle 31, $32, 26, 27, somewhere within that $6 range for most people. So I wanted to just make sure we was on the same page as far as profit taking areas. So we're not expecting Boyle to go to $100, but we do anticipate kind of to what we saw last year, just a replication. But last year around this time was when we started to finally cook up and we broke above 50. Then by the time we got to January, we basically hit $80. Now, we don't expect to hit 80, um, but we do anticipate us hitting 50 rather sooner rather than later. So just make sure that you have your alerts set this particular ticker. If this is one that you're holding, because we want, as soon as these targets get hit, we want to move out the way on it. So 50, $63, like let those be your two targets in mind when looking at Boyle. If you're not in Boyle already, we would suggest just hold back. Don't even touch it. So we are, like I said, looking for this breakout on Boyle here sooner rather than later. So we'll wait and be patient on that. We'll come over to the cues, but before I do that, let me get Bitcoin real quick. So BTC, the buyers came in again yesterday here at 85K. So Bitcoin is back on the up and up. We were getting shot down all the way down here, move down to that 84 level. If we break above 90K, I think that we could start to see a move back towards 95,000. But until then, it looks like we're making lower lows and lower highs. I would like to see us get underneath 80K. Unless we're getting underneath 80K, there's not going to be any more downside right now. So set an alert for Bitcoin 80,000 if you don't already. So if that price gets hit, 77K and 74, 73K after that. All right. So for BTC, those are our levels and our alert areas for Bitcoin. Next thing, you do have tomorrow, once again at 8:15, excuse me, 8:15, you do have the ADP numbers that come out. So the expectation is for 40,000 jobs to have been added to the private sector. So MicroStrategy is up 6%. Just got that alert just now. Next thing here for the VIX. We're currently right now at 16. So you should have an alert for 20 in case that the VIX breaks over that 20 points. 6:15. Give me 8:15 tomorrow for that number. And we're currently here at 16. You should have an alert for 20. there. Put these two up side by side. So we actually just broke above this just a second ago. Uh, just got above 185 here on NVIDIA. That's why we see NVIDIA was stuck within this range since the 20th. We just got back above 185 here now. We bounced at 174 yesterday, so that's why you see the QQQ moved up here to 622. So NVIDIA I don't know, I forgot who asked that question yesterday. But we were once again still stuck within this range, this like eight to $9 range. So we finally broke out of it. NVIDIA keeps running. It's here at 185 right now. So it's up $5 on the day. First couple of seconds of the day. One stock that has earnings today that I do want to cover, that is CrowdStrike. So as far as for ticker Crowd, we go to them. The focus will be on CRWD's guidance. So CrowdStrike has lost $1.21. Yeah, $1.21 EPS in the past 12 months. So the focus will be on this full year guidance for 2026. And the good thing for Crowd is they have almost $5 billion in cash with only about a little bit less than $1 billion worth of debt. So there's a solid position there. If we come to the analysis tab, just to kind of show you. So compared to two things to look at. Next year's numbers, you're expecting average estimate right now, current year versus the next year. As far as fiscal quarterly earnings, fiscal year, they follow the fiscal year. You're looking here now, we do have next year of average estimate of $4.80. So $4.80 estimate there. And I just cover these tickers on the side. AMD 224, A-Lab 8%. I think we were just talking about A-Lab weekend. And MDB, MongoDB is up 25% today. So CrowdStrike reporting after hours today. Focus will be on guidance, full year for next year's guidance. That'll be the focal point of CrowdStrike if they have a really solid report. There may be a chance for them to gap up, but I got asked this question yesterday privately, so I'll address it. As far as CrowdStrike, what I think will happen on earnings, whatever they come out and report, they'll report. After that, the stock will probably drop slightly or trade sideways. And then what it does after that will really be just determined by its guidance. So that's my thoughts on ticker Crowd. Really more so guidance based as far as the initial reaction. So yeah. SPY real quick. So we're back up here at that 683 level that we rejected off of the other, what was that, yesterday. So back here at 683, still in the same spot. But just mark off, so get above this 684. The SPY will probably run a little bit more. We do get below 677. Still, that remains our level from yesterday. So mark that off. Oh, pay attention there. Got MSTU, which dropped yesterday to 90 cents. Here, now to $1.23. So MSTU is still going to undergo a reverse split. So I did want to make that known. When that reverse split happens, you will see that. So, First 15 minutes almost elapsed. Apple broke out of this bull flag pattern that was here on the daily and the weekly time frame. So we did see Apple finally broke out of that pattern. I don't think I was looking at Apple on this side. So it did break out. Apple currently right now 4.22 trillion, $200 billion over the 4 trillion mark at this time. Google's still trading at 318. Meta's still right there around 645. Well, 641. SDR. Take a look at Microsoft. Still here at 682. The MSFT. Received some questions as far as Microsoft as well. Still has to get back above 493 and then get over 500. Until then, don't just really just trade sideways. Take on Microsoft. Up to sold off towards the back half of the day yesterday, got back here to 680, broke out right back there to 682.50. We're still right there within the same range. Procter and Gamble just made a 52-week low. And see here. $1.25. 1 second. So AMD right now is feeling this move back up here to 226.44. See what it does. AMD. Let's look at PM. Uh, I just ran this. Majority of my tickets are trying to easier for me to do. Yeah, so Boeing just came up. It's right here at 197. Here at this resistance point, 97. Inch. Mm-mm. Dang. No break here so far on this. Like, okay. Over. Dang. Wait, pause. It's probably going to try to go test 201 before. Okay, Snowflake, real quick. Snowflake has earnings after hours tomorrow. Being be getting ready. Snowflake earnings come out good. Spies, it's 82. So just range bound the first few minutes at open here. Let's see this. QQQ. Mm-mm-mm. E. One just broke over to they hit 201 right now. underneath 681. I don't step above 200. That's hard as 8 days. VA. I was about to hit that 201 here in a second. Oh, good bowling. From 201, 84. So, all right, ticker bone is now up 8% today. So actually want to March 20th is 108 days away. So that's more than enough time. Yearly, anywhere in between the 200 to 210 puts. I'm gonna grab through contract here. Uh, this area, looking for a rejection here at 201 for us to pull back down. I did post the targets and the Discord as well too. The two targets, there's not a target. The last target is right there at 194.72. Pull both targets directly from my chart. So that's what I'm looking for on ticker BA. Ejection. Knowing this company, I don't trust them to stay up too long. So whatever that profits to be taken off the board, just uncomfortable to enter the short at this point. Order just filled. So I am in this position with a fill 14.45. So ticker BA. Put it up on wait there. So fail price, ticker ball. That few alerts for 199 and as well 197. It's still really within the same spot from open here, so it hasn't actually been uh, video. I was trying to watch them right up there at that 185 level. So that's PY. So 1 second. Still has not been able to make it over that point so far. Just trying to break as we speak right now. There, so failed at a good point there. Ticker BA. It's actually a break the 3. Trying to. If you're looking through stocks, so we got that on BA. Let's use AMD next. So AMD did not break today, at least so far. It did not break over 226. So it's still coasting and able to, we've actually been able to break out. So we do here on AMD over that 220 yesterday. I think it was about 218, 219 yesterday. when we were speaking about AMD. So it's trying to get above 683 on this spot. Let's see if it can actually do that. So yeah, yeah. Buying Boeing puts. So yeah, 1 2 1 2 1 2. Can everybody hear? They can't hear. Yeah, at one point, what time was it? That was like 10 minutes ago. Yeah, I was watching the chart at the time, so maybe that's what. Mandy has her hand raised. Let me get this question. There we go.
Hey, not a question, just more of I don't know if you saw the screenshot you posted, but your screenshot shows it sold the puts, FY on the position.
Oh, I didn't even realize that. I'm glad you caught that. Me rushing. Thank you for that. Appreciate you for catching that because I definitely was working on that. All right, my order is filled now. I had to close those positions, buy those contracts back. Filled now, perfect. Right. So the spy, thank you for that, Mandy. Catching that for me. So we all make mistakes. So 226 rejection here on AMD. So we are in a rising wedge pattern here on AMD. We rallied from what was that? That was 193 to 226. Let me go down here to the 30-minute real quick. We bounced off the 220 level in the pre-market. So also here as well on AMD. Wedge there. Real on the SPY. If we don't break it to 683, we can't see below that 680. Be moving to the downside here on AMD. The rest of the market. CrowdStrike, like we said, does have earnings. So Crowd is getting ready to report after hours. Oracle reports next week. We uh, we have AVGO right around the corner. I mean, not AVGO. We have MU right around the corner. And actually, we do have AVGO. I was right about that. So a few major companies that we do look at and speak at all the time, still getting ready to report. AVGO is 9 days away. Put that on your calendars. It is on the 11th that they're going to report. MU reports on the 17th. I do know that date. 20. So you got 4 hour rising wedge there on AMD. I did just drop in the notes for thesis. Um, We have this extended upside move on AMD. So um, highlighted the 230 puts for March. AMD slowing down, didn't break that 226. But we're looking for that rejection, which we got. So as price breaks out of this rising wedge, we anticipate it to sell off and move down. So um, ran from the last Tuesday up until this Tuesday, making a rising wedge. So this is our reasoning, rationale for entering for here on AMD. Stock is up 1.5% today. March 20th gives you 180 days until expiration. We'll go further out if you choose to. Minimum, I would say go March these times. See this level that we would break, depending on what day. They're at about 221. If we get underneath 221, that should break out the rising wedge pattern. So 221 break would get us out of a rising wedge pattern. E, same thing. One thing that I want to teach very quick. Give me 1 second to pull this up. Is I want to talk about why bid and ask spreads real quick, especially when purchasing options. Let's hold it up. Let's see. So, for example, like anytime that you have anything over 100, right, on your bid and ask, anything over 100 is considered to be wide. So you notice here, like the 170 contracts, so 170, 180, 185, especially you notice it on the 190s, 195. This just goes for any specific equity that you're trading options on. When you do have wider than at least $100, it's wise, really $50, but we'll definitely say $100. It's really $50. Anytime you have a wide bid and ask, it's always best to use limit orders instead of market orders if you're trying to get filled on positions properly and paying a fair price. So that is something that you want to do. You would rather do it on a limit order versus a market order. So using limits versus markets when the bid and the ask is spread that wide uh, would be your best scenario as far as trying to get filled on positions. So that's one note that I just wanted to make when it pertains to getting into options and order flow. So I'll make that note for you guys. Similar start to yesterday, pretty much low volume, not much happening there. So anything over 100 is considered to be wide. Really 50 though, but I'll say 100. It's really 50. 'Cause anytime you have a bid and ask spread wider than 50, you should probably really use a limit order. But you could get away with it. But definitely say 100 though. If you see $100 difference in the bid and the ask price, you want to use a limit order to get filled on your options. Usually the things that are less liquid usually are the ones that have wide bid and ask spreads. So usually the names that are less liquid. Like an A lab, once again, how many people are trading A lab versus people trading the QQQ or the spot, right? Or how many people are trading A lab or trading an NVIDIA or even an MU, right? So there's going to be more people trading an NVIDIA. So look at it from that perspective as well. The more that your options are traded, the more liquid that the chain is. The less liquid. So when it's less liquid, the bid and the ask is usually wider. When it's more liquid, the bid and the ask is usually tighter. That's why it's easy to, if you want to get out of a SPY or QQQ position, it's like lightning speed. You're out like that, or you're in like that, right? In or out fast. A lab or other stocks that may not have as much of high trading volume, it may take, especially if your order is trying to work, you could either fall into one or two things. It could take a while because unless it's at that specific price, those stocks don't necessarily move liquid maybe as much, right? The liquidity is a lot less. Plus, um, you have to take into consideration as well the amount of orders that are actually out there. So those two things. So you got buy 682 here. All right. 681. So we're gonna analyze off of that. 80. Oracle's still at 207. Nvidia did not. Let me pull Nvidia. Did not stay. It's back at 183. So that's why the SPY and the Qs kind of sold off. We didn't close above. Still stuck within this range. At the top of the range, but then rejecting here, same time that the SPY's rejecting and the Qs. You turned negative for today. Let's get this. 680.91. Let's see if this breaks there. Break this. Just stuck within that range. Unless the SPY gets underneath this 60 cents, we'll stay in this range. Only way. Born day again. Only way if you'll get any real selling as of right now is if we get underneath this 680.91 level right there. It's likely to pull downward. Always keep the indice up side by side of your individual trade. Your rule of thumb to do. Looks like it looks like we actually wicked off of that level. You can see one thing that I'll say is when you see price come down to a level that you already have identified on your chart and it bounces and wicks off of that level, that's how you know your level's valid. A lot of times you guys see levels that are on my chart where price may come to it and exactly pop for a second before maybe breaking below. That's how you know there's actual buyers and liquidity at those levels. So uh, just a quick note on that there. We actually break below. Like we said, if we're not breaking there, we're stuck within that range. Green. Let's 682. But still stuck within that range. So if they get underneath at 680, like we said, it price would just right be range bound. It's still underneath the range. So I was trying to test the 683 again. Yeah, we did not. Yes, it's still stuck within the same range since open. Same without a range. Like this. 83. Range. 490 on so 286 on Apple, 490 on Microsoft. Yeah. Right. We got Marvel and CrowdStrike. Uh, Technology reports after the bell today as well. Their earnings calls at 4:45. Could be a good time for Marvel. They report for themselves at 223.50. BHP much up. Two. Yeah. pretty much it for now. Any other updates, we'll place them in the chat and anything, but pretty much within the same spot. If anything happens in the afternoon, we'll hop on. That'll be it for our session for today. The roundabout, we got CrowdStrike and Marvel both reporting after hours. The two positions were directly posted here with their entry as well as thesis. So, you're looking for a pullback down here on Boeing. I don't trust Boeing enough to stay up this long. Yeah, that's pretty much it for today's session. Appreciate everybody, and we'll wrap soon. Thank you.